Looking to automate your workflows, save time, and have complete control over your data? Let's talk about n8n, an open source automation platform that lets you create complex workflows, connect hundreds of apps, and automate anything without worrying about limits or costs. n8n is perfect for anyone who wants to automate tasks, sync data between the apps, or even build advanced integrations, all with an intuitive visual interface. Imagine running n8n on your own server with no monthly fees, full control over your workflows, and absolute privacy for your data. That's what we are going to do today. Hi guys, this is Usman from my server mentor, and in this video I'll show you how to set up n8n on your own server using Docker Compose. Now, when it comes to setting it up, there are two main methods. npm, the traditional method where you install n8n using Node.js directly, and Docker, the cleanest, easiest, and most scalable way to host n8n in a containerized environment. So why Docker? Because it isolates n8n, making it easier to manage, upgrade, and deploy. Plus, Docker Compose simplifies the whole process of making your video faster, more flexible, and completely scalable for future growth. Let's dive in and set it up the Docker way. So first of all, you need to set up your DNS records and point your domain that you want to use with n8n towards the server's IP address into your DNS dashboard. So I have already done this, so no need to do that again. And its process also varies from one domain manager to other domain manager. So no need to do that in this video. The second step we are going to start with is to install Docker on your server. So we will install Docker. First of all, let me connect my server using SSH. All right, you can see that this is the server I'm going to use. It is a Ubuntu server, and before installing Docker on it, I will simply try to update my server. Sudo apt update y. Alright, after checking that my server is up to date, I will install Docker. To install Docker, I have listed some commands here. I will also write them down in the description of this video so that you can follow along. I will simply copy all those commands from here and paste it into the server terminal. Hit enter. As you can see that the Docker installation has begun. Alright, it says that Docker is installed. Now to check that it is really installed, I will simply invoke the command docker ps, and you can see that it works. Now the next step would be to create a project directory inside our server and then create an env file there. Okay, I'm creating the project directory named as n8n compose. You can use any other name if you want. So this directory is created, and inside this directory I will simply create a .env file. Now the contents that we need to write in this .env file I have already written down in my env file here. I will simply copy paste this. This is basically the domain name we are going to link with n8n installation, and the SSL email that we will be going to use. So this is the dummy SSL email. I will change it to my real SSL. Okay, now I will copy all this thing and paste it inside this env file and save it. Okay, now the next step would be to create docker compose.yaml file. I have also created this file already to save some time, and now I will quickly go through this file so that you know what I have written in this file. So I'm going to use two services here. One is traffic. This service is responsible for creating the free SSL certificate for the domain that we are going to link with our n8n installation, and the second service is n8n itself, and we are downloading a Docker image for this service, and running this service on port 5678. Remember that this port is the default port of n8n. If you want to change it, you can change it yourself, no problem, but I'm going with this default port setup. Anyway, it does not matter which port you use, because we will be simply redirecting our traffic to port 80 and eventually using SSL to port 443 of the server. So this port is only be used for the internal n8n installation inside the Docker container. And here the environment variables, the n8n, you can see the variable name, domain name. This variable would be picked up from the .env file. You can see that the variable is defined here, and n8n port is defined here 5678. The protocol is HTTPS, because we are going to use this HTTPS protocol after creating the SSL certificate. You can set the environment of your choice, that is if it is production or development or whatever, and then the webhook URL, it is also the domain name. I'm also mounting two volumes here. One is n8n data and mounting it on this path inside the Docker container, and the second one is basically this volume is responsible for storing all your database data and the other data, so that whenever the container restarts, the data persists. And this local files here, this volume is responsible for sharing the files between the host machine Ubuntu and the container that is going to host the n8n application. And apart from that, these labels are simply being used to create SSL certificate for the domain. And the second variable inside the .env file is SSL email. This variable is being used inside the traffic service. And here you can see that we need an email address so that it will send you the notifications about SSL expiry or etc. So we need an email here. So this variable is used here that we already defined in the .env. Okay, now I will copy all this stuff from this file and paste it here inside the Docker Compose file. Let me create it first. Docker compose.yml. Okay, I have pasted it. I will save this file and exit from the nano editor. And the final step would be to start n8n container. And to do so, we will simply invoke the command docker compose up -d. This -d flag ensures that your our containers would be running in the detached mode or in background, in other words. Hit enter. Now you can see that images are being pulled from the Docker Hub, and once this step is finished, the Docker containers would be created. Alright, now as you can see that both the containers are created, and to further check it, I will simply invoke the command docker ps, and here you can see that both the containers are up and running. And now to test it, I will simply open an incognito window here and enter our domain test.myservermentor.com, and here you can see that n8n installation is working perfectly, and it is asking us to create an owner account. Now to create the owner account, use your email. You can use any email. Okay, now it is asking you some questions. You need to answer those. Business owner. Okay, I'm skipping this for the moment, and boom, here's the n8n installation. You can start creating your workflows here freely. Alright guys, I hope that this video helped you to install n8n installation on your own server and self-host it. If you think that this video helped you, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon button as well so that you can get any notifications for any further videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Goodbye.